used the word unique? Do you know what this means? Unique means something which is very, very, very different. If you have used this word earlier, then this means you've been learning English for quite a long time, because this is a very good word to use. But I have a challenge for you. Tell me 4 words that have the same meaning as unique. Well, you're not allowed to look at the board. Okay, so if you don't know 4 words with the same meaning as unique, then you need to keep watching this lesson. Because today I'm going to tell you 11 words that you can use to say the word unique. So watch the complete lesson with me. My name is Michelle and you're watching Let's Talk. Okay, now let's look at the few words that we have with us today to replace the word unique. So let's say bye-bye to unique. Okay, the first phrase that we have is unique as a blue diamond. Here we are using the word unique because we are talking about a phrase and not a word. So, unique as a blue diamond. Have you seen the movie Titanic? Then you will definitely know that Rose, who was the main character, she wore a beautiful blue diamond in her neck. And you know how precious and expensive it was. And almost towards the end of the movie, she throws that in the sea. And do you know, people are still looking for that blue diamond? Because that was the most expensive one. Great. So a blue diamond is very hard to find and it's just beautiful. And when you use this phrase, unique as a blue diamond, it means the best there is. Let me write it for you. The best there is. So what is the best that there is in your life? Well, if you have a lovely girlfriend, you could tell her, you are unique as a blue diamond, which means she is the best that there is in the world for you. And she is bound to be impressed by you if you use this phrase. With this, we look at the next word, exclusive. So exclusive is something that is meant only for high-class people, okay? Something that is meant for high-class people, which means people who are very rich, like exclusive seats on the airplane, the people who sit in the business class. Yes, the seats in the business class are called exclusive seats, which means only for high-class people. And what about seats in the theater? Yes, the special seats in the theater on the top row are exclusive seats because you need to pay more money to be able to sit there. So that's how you can replace the word unique when you're talking about something which is only for people who can pay more to have it. So exclusive, if you want to use it in a sentence, you could say that the journalist arranged for an exclusive interview with the president. Okay, now we move on to the next one that we have, rare. So rare is something that is not easy to find. Not easy to find. Like think of an old coin, maybe from the 16th century, a coin that was 400 or 500 years old. Will you be able to find that coin now, like almost everywhere? No. You will only find it in museums. So is it easy to find? No, it's very hard to find. That's why the coin is rare. That's how you can use it. Now we look at the next word, spectacular. For something, like if you're going somewhere and on the way there is a beautiful waterfall and you have to stop and look at it because it's so beautiful, you will call that waterfall spectacular. You could say that it is a giant, spectacular waterfall, which means you need to stop and stare at it. So spectacular means something for which you need to stop and stare. Stare means to look at something, okay? With that, we move on to the next one. Has no equal. Now, this is also a phrase, and this refers to something for which there is no equal, which means there is nothing better than that, okay? Nothing better than that. So for something that has nothing better than it, you could use the phrase has no equal. Well, I think Indian food has no equal. I think it's the best kind of food. Well, you may not agree with me, but I'm just sharing my opinion. Okay, now let's look at the next one. Match less. Less means to not have something, okay? So when you don't have a match for something, it's matchless. Something for which there is no match. Basically something for which there is nothing like it, okay? To use it in a sentence, you could say that this sandwich was matchless, which means there was no match for this sandwich. It's so good to taste. Great. Now let's look at the next one. Okay, now here let's look a little carefully. Surpassed, okay? Surpassed means to be superior, okay? It's of surpassing quality, which means to be of superior quality. So surpassed means superior. And un in English is a prefix which is used before the main word to mean no, okay? So what do you read it as now? No superior. So for something for which there is no superior, it's called unsurpassed. So if you go to a hotel which is really great and you have not experienced a more superior hotel, you could say that your services were unsurpassed, which means nothing is more superior than the services that you gave us. Great. Now let's look at the next one. So as we already know that un means no, in the next word also we have un. So let's write no here for un. Do you know the meaning of the word rival? Do you have any rival? Rival means competitor. So when you have a person who is always competing with you, that person is your competitor. For example, in your class, if you have someone who scores better than you or who is always trying to be a better person than you, that person is your competitor. So rival means competitor. Let's write it here. I hope you have already understood the meaning. This means no competitor. So for something for which there is no competition, it's called unrivaled. And of course, you can use it in a sentence like unsurpassed, or let me give you an example. If you have great knowledge of English, if you have learned English over time, you could say you have unrivaled knowledge of English, which means that you have so much knowledge of English that no one can compete with you or no one can be better than you in English. Great. I hope that you soon have unrivaled knowledge of English as you keep watching our lessons and keep learning. With this, we move forward. Incomparable. Now, as I already told you that the prefix un means no, the same way in English there is another prefix which means a small word which is put before the main word. Another prefix which means no, and that is in. Do you know the meaning of comparable? Comparable means to do comparison, okay? Something for which we can do comparison. Now, as you can see, you have already understood the meaning. So for something for which there is no comparison is called incomparable. And to use it in a sentence, you could say that Bella's dancing skills are incomparable, which means you cannot compare Bella's dance to anyone. She's such a great dancer. Great. Now we look at the next one. So the last two words are actually used a little negatively. All these words are used to compliment someone for being unique. So if you think someone is unique, which means very different in a good way, you use these words. But when you think that someone is very different in a very strange way, that's when you use the last two words. So the first word is bizarre. You pronounce it as bizarre. The stress is on zar. So repeat it after me, bizarre. Okay. So bizarre means something which is extremely strange. Okay? Extremely strange. So if you want to use bizarre in a sentence, first of all, think of your teacher. If your teacher, who always wears casual clothes like a jeans or a top, one day she walks in the class dressed like a scuba diver, the people who dive underwater. Or maybe she's dressed like a cartoon character. Isn't that extremely strange? And you would be like, why is she looking so bizarre? Which means, why is she looking so strange? And that's slightly negative. Now let's see the last word, which is freak. Freak means a very bad or unexpected incidents, okay? Unexpected incidents. Here we use the word freak to talk about unique in a very negative sense. So when something is very different, when it's very unexpected in a negative way, it's called freak. And to use it in a sentence, you could say that Jimmy broke his leg in a freak incident or in a freak accident. So here freak means bad. So a bad accident can be described as a freak accident. Great. Now as you can see that we are done with this lesson, and today we have learned various words to talk about the word unique. So now I believe you don't need to reuse the word unique too much, as you already have a huge vocabulary bank for replacing unique. So talk about unique things using all these words. And come back to watch more lessons with me. My name is Michelle and I'd like to sign off now. Bye-bye.